Bang! You are in the emergency department of the hospital. You can't work on your business for the next 3 months, 6 months, or possibly indefinite. What do you do? Hello, my name's Bruno Brandon. I help people with their exit out of their businesses. But my real passion is helping them implement an exit strategy before they even sell. And if you do this, then come the time of exit, you'll make more money, your business will be less time on market, and you'll have reduced stress and headaches. Now, this video is mainly for contractors or very small business operators. They're selling their knowledge, their expertise to other businesses. Maybe they're making around about $100,000 a year. Typically, this class of contractors type of business, when they do exit, they either make very little or they make zero money. They just wind back their business at the end of their career. So I want to just give you some information that possibly can give you a better return when you decide to exit or when you're forced to exit. Okay. So let's go back to that hospital, back in the hospital. Now, 1 out of 3 people will actually have some sort of crisis in their life that will affect their income producing activity. And if you're over 50, by the way, that stat even increases. Now, this is not pie in the sky type of figures. It actually happened to me 7 years ago with the birth of my child. She's a special needs girl. She's severely disabled. It threw a big spanner in the works, affected every area of my life, especially the income producing area. I effectively could not go back to full-time work if I wanted to look after her, and I haven't been back to full-time work. Although I do work 40 plus hours, I have to adjust it around her schedule. So I wanted to give some information about how, if something like that happens to you, or even if you've got a scheduled exit, you can actually create some sort of return of exiting your business. Now, the first thing I'm going to recommend is something that we all know, but perhaps we don't do as diligently as we should. And that is have your industry experts surrounding you. Now, the first one that I'm going to suggest you have is you do have an executor of your will. Somebody that is impartial to your situation and is not going to collapse and be unproductive if you are in a state. Somebody that can carry on the crucial parts of executing your will, or maybe not a will, but you're incapacitated and they can make things happen. And one of the big things that we don't do, and we should, is that quite often we have passwords and to get into your accounts package, your database, and it's all tied up here, where unfortunately if you're incapacitated, that can slow down the whole process. So make sure somebody has access, someone trustworthy obviously, has access to information, crucial information, and that can be gathered. The other thing is you've got to have your accountant in place, a good accountant that can generate reports and deliver them to potential buyers. That'll make it more attractive when you actually put things out there onto the market. Also have a legal person in place, or contact with a legal person that can expedite the process of a sale, and any other professionals that might relate to your particular industry. The second thing I'd like you to do is brush off that little black book that you had for your dating, or your dating. But this time what I wanted you to do is write in it, and it's a working document of people that might possibly be buying your business. And you might come across them in day-to-day life, but add them to the list. But don't just add them to a list, but develop a relationship with them, so that if something does happen 1 year, 2 years, 5 years down the track, they're not getting a cold call from you. So, oh, by the way, do you want to buy my business? But there's a relationship there. You can start a conversation, and it's a warm conversation, and it's a lot better than just than a cold call. So, and a lot of people that would go into that little black book are your direct competitors. So I always suggest, no matter what industry you're in, reach out to your competitors and develop a dialogue with them. You never know what might happen. Now, the reason why we do that is obviously those people in this little black book might purchase your business. But if, say, you've got 12 people that could be interested in your business, and like six of them say that they're not interested in any way, shape, or form. Another 6 show interest. Three put their hands up and are actively involved in this process, and you can create a bit more of a competitive tension against the buyers, a bit like an auction, you might say, and it can get you a better return. So work on that little black book. The other thing I'd like you to consider is that you may not sell your business as a whole. It might be worthwhile breaking it up in parts. Now, let me give you an example. Obviously, if you've got a $100,000 business and it's churning along, you've got a database that you market to. Now, that database may be gold to your competitor or someone in a cross industry. So you could market that. If you're turning over $100,000, that database could be worth $20,000 potentially, maybe even more. Then there's another section of your business, your ongoing work or your current work. So you might have $15,000, $25,000 worth of business that's currently in the works. And if you could sell that to, say, another competitor or somebody that can continue on and finish off that work and collect the payments, that let's say $20,000 worth of work could be worth anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000 to the right buyer. But a way to amplify the money that you actually get is to use something that we use in this industry called earnouts or vendor finance. And what that means is you might, let's say, sell your business, and we're trying to get your $100,000 business. Let's try and get $100,000. But we'll talk to your potential buyer, and you might say to your potential buyer, look, okay, how about you give me $25,000 now, and over the next year or 3 years, pay me the remainder. So that way they have some sort of confidence that actually the business is going to continue and potentially grow. And if you're not completely incapacitated, you can possibly even help and encourage those customers and guide this new buyer to actually make the money or even more money, and hence recoup your earn out or vendor finance over those 1 to 3 years. So effectively, done correctly, you can have a $100,000 contracting business and sell it for $100,000 if you set up a good plan before you need to sell. Now, let's throw in an X factor. What if you took all of that, but you reversed it? What if you are not in any type of situation, you're not in that hospital, things are humming along smoothly, but you actually still did have that little black book and you searched out people in your industry, and then they were in the situation that they needed to get out or exit their business, and you were putting in offers on their business. Suddenly your $100,000 contracting business for purchasing another $20,000, $25,000, $30,000, you can effectively double your business or certainly increase it by using this strategy. Anyway, I hope that helps you as a contractor. You put something in place. If you need, I actually have a do-it-yourself version course of this. It's a couple of $100. Reach out to me, let me know, and I'll flick you the details. Or at the very least, implement something yourself and make sure that you get rewarded for the big effort that you've put in place for all those numbers of years. All the best and thank you.